Davante Adams saying that on Sunday Night Football, he looked around and realized, oh my God, there's no energy around here, and that he had to say something just days into his Jets tenure was one of the great indictments of Aaron Rodgers' career, that he is a false leader. He is a hollow leader, that he wants to be a leader. He calls himself a leader, and yet he delivers nothing of what a leader would do. If Davante Adams spent 3 hours as a Jet in uniform and realized, oh my God, there's no leadership here, that says something about what Aaron Rodgers is not. Another loss, this time in New England against the Patriots when Drake May exits, is now a huge plume of smoke that goes up. This is a red flag being waved. This is in lights blinking. Aaron Rodgers has become a cautionary tale for NFL history. If Deshaun Watson's guaranteed money is going to prevent anybody else, any other quarterback, from getting a fully guaranteed multi-year deal ever again of that number, because he's played so horribly and because it's been such a nightmare in Cleveland, then a veteran quarterback that wants all of the control is never going to get it again if Aaron Rodgers implodes the way that he's imploding right now, because this thing is over and he looks like a complete false prophet. There have been quarterbacks that delivered on this promise. Joe Montana went to Kansas City, took over a Chiefs team that didn't really quite know how to win yet, and brought them to an AFC championship game. And I spoke to guys when I worked in Kansas City that played for the Chiefs under Marty and with Joe, and they said there was the Chiefs before Joe and after Joe. We learned how to win. The Broncos, when Peyton Manning walked in, immediately became a Super Bowl contender overnight for those 4 years. And when Tom Brady took over the Buccaneers, he wanted full control. He wanted decision-making, and he got it, and he brought in his guys. And they won a Super Bowl. And you ask anybody inside that locker room about what the Buccaneers were before and what the Buccaneers were after. Levante David, the longest tenure Buccaneer at that point in time, said, we didn't know anything about winning until Tom came in. Those guys demanded control, demanded influence, and delivered. Well, you better be certain your guy has that deep within him, because Rodgers wanted that control as well, and he failed on the promise. Aaron Rodgers is now a punchline. And does it look smart to have given him the control? Because I was told this was a Robert Salah problem. And yet here they are 0-3 with lifeless losses across the board, and now a defeat at the hands of the inept Patriots as a touchdown favorite, as the backup Jacoby Brissett comes in and goes right down the field on the Jets defense. I was told this was a Robert Salah problem, that Salah was a coach that couldn't get the most out of his roster and couldn't fix the offensive side of the football and led an undisciplined team. And once they got rid of the problem, Robert Salah, they could turn the page. I was told Robert Salah was the problem. And all I see since he's been fired is the same exact mistakes and a more lifeless team and a worse defensive effort. Jacoby Brissett, this is a guy that within New England, there was a din of the crowd. There was an overwhelming throw him out of there, get the rookie in type of mentality from the fan base. This was a guy that every Patriots fan was sick of seeing through the first month plus of the season. Get him out of here. We've seen enough. And he comes back in and slices through the Jets defense when the Jets absolutely had to have a stop and gave up a touchdown drive. But I thought Robert Salah was the problem. Who are you going to blame next, Aaron? Is it Greg Zuerlein? Is it the wrong interim head coach? Do you need more than Davante Adams and Alan Lazard Do you need more than getting a play caller installed as your BFF? Who is it going to be next, Aaron? Because it certainly can't be you. It's got to be somebody else. The Jets season's over now. They're in legit free fall. It's not even Halloween, and the Jets gave all of the control to a guy who actually didn't deserve any of it. Some of this might not be Aaron's fault. He's 40 years old. You can't play like Aaron used to play if you're 40 years old. This is not 32-year-old Aaron Rodgers. But Aaron looked at what Tom Brady got in Tampa Bay and said, I deserve that. And he got it. And what did it get you? Nothing. And culture building with the Jets, again, completely backwards. Woody Johnson said, we'll bring in winners, and that'll teach the team how to win. We'll build the culture that way. You build a culture first, and then you win after that. Look at the Detroit Lions as a perfect example. Do they bring in a bunch of winners to change the culture? Or do they bring in Dan Campbell to install a winning mentality, a toughness, a physicality, a positive mindset, and add a front office that has been adding talent to that mindset? They didn't go out and try to shop for a big ticket free agent item. Jared Goff wasn't that. Jared Goff was a throw-in in the deal for Matt Stafford. He was a reclamation project. He wasn't Aaron Rodgers. They didn't go big game hunting, but they changed the culture authentically and literally. And the Jets didn't, because there's nothing there. It's hollow. It was big game hunting for big game hunting's sake to try to microwave a winner, and it didn't work. And this is on Aaron Rodgers. Deshaun Watson's a cautionary tale of giving a fully guaranteed loaded contract to a guy for many, many years. Aaron Rodgers is a cautionary tale of handing a future Hall of Famer the keys to the castle when he actually doesn't have any leadership abilities within him.